Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to turn the music off. I'm loath to do that. I love the music, but just for clarity, we'll leave it off, and you can listen to it 1,000 times when you play the games yourself. So this is it. Welcome to the live playthrough of Gloom of Kilforth Digital. So this is a fan-made digital app made by Jarrett Dunn, who is an extraordinary chap who has put together this fully playable version of Gloom of Kilforth as like a fan-made project. And I was just explaining before, this is so much further along than I expected it to be when he approached me. Um, it's still a beta, so there might be bugs, there might be crashes and things like that. So just to manage your expectations, we might have to load a game, reload a game, or things like that. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've played it to completion several times now, and many times in fact, and it seems to be working brilliantly. And so, oh, a couple of comments. So, hello, coder of codes, and Stephen, excuse for gaming. Yeah, welcome, guys. Thanks for following along. So, we had a little bit of a poll in the Discord group about which hero to play as, and I'll just have a quick glance at that because I think it ended up being tied, which is very useful. Uh, so, is it going to be my choice? So when you're playing Gloom of Kilforth, you pick a race and a class to choose from. To set up your hero, there's 8 different races in the base game, 8 different classes, and each hero picks their own saga. And so if we go into new game here, we can add up to 4 players. You can play it competitively or cooperatively. We're going to be playing solo. So I'm going to add a player here. And these are different races and classes you can choose from. The poll said I should choose half demon or vampire. So I think uh, we'll go for a vampire. And the class suggestions were rogue or war mage. Um, so we'll go for if we go for rogue, we'll get a nice boost to our sneak there. So I don't know how much of this to explain. We've got 4 basic stats here at the top. We've got fight, study, sneak, and influence. And those are the stats that you're given by your race card. And then when you choose a class, you'll get a buff as well. So if we were to choose the rogue, for example, our sneak would go up to 3, which would be very useful because we've got hardly any sneak as the vampire. Um, but if we go to War Mage, we get a buff to our fight and study, and we get a cool ability where in combat we can lose a HP to make the opponent lose an HP, which is really cool. But I think I'm going to mix it up and go for the Rogue. So we picked Vampire Rogue, and then we pick a Saga. And the base game suggests which sagas to go with which classes. So we're going to go for this Assassinate Lord quest, which will tie into our sneak, and you'll see that in a second. But basically, using this, you can combo umpteen different classes, races, and sagas. So it should be different every time you play. And I'm going to take the risk of asking you guys what shall we name the character, and providing it's not anything too rude, I will take the first response from the chat. And if you don't come up with one, I'll have to come up with one myself. So, really like playing Veil Wraith, says Vince. Haven't tried Veil Wraith yet, says Greg. Greg, you need to get a copy of Veil Wraith, although it has sold out, so good luck finding one. Only ever played any Kilforth game solo. How is it multiplayer? That's a great question for the guys for the chat to answer. Vampires are strong, and the interface looks great. Yeah, it's beautiful. It looks really cool. Oh, there we go. We've got a name. Hal Dracul. Okay, nice. We're going in. Okay, so we'll. and we can choose alternate art. All of the classes, the race cards have an alternate art. You can just swap those. We'll go with this guy. He looks cool. And then we're going to choose a starting rumour. So this is like a mini quest for your character. We're going to travel around the world of Kilforth and try and bring this rumour into play. I should have checked the saga before, but I always like to go with an ally because with an ally you get a cool stat boost to start off with, and at the start of the game that can be really useful. So we're going to go for an ally rumour. And because we're a rogue, we prefer the shadowy characters, and we've got the smuggler here. She's going to give us +1 sneak and the ability to become hidden, which is really useful again early game. This guy's got 2 stat buffs, but we're hopefully not going to be relying on those as much. So we're going to take the smuggler. And we're going to begin the adventure. So then we're going to choose the ancient that we're going up against. If we are a rogue, our priority stat is going to be sneak, which is really good for overcoming places. And the Prince of Ruin is all about setting up shrines and places. So he's a good pairing for us to have a go at. If I was just to, I mean, the random option on this is brilliant as well. I've just been playing games randomly generating the saga classes and combos and everything. But if you're starting out, it's nice to sort of pick a saga and an ancient that sort of dovetails with your character class and race. So we're going to go for the Prince of Ruin. And here we are, a la carte. Oh, too late, Vincent. Stevens beat you to it. We're going with Haldra Cool, but Alucard is a cool name. Obviously, Dracula in verse. And the Abbess, sorry. Yeah, we should have gone for the Abbess. I need to get better at monitoring the chat and playing the game. Okay, so quick overview of our character. We've got a vampire noble, and our special ability is when we defeat an enemy, we can heal 2 hit points. So we're not a massive fighty class at the moment. We're going to be doing lots of sneaking around, and we have this Assassinate Lord saga. So I'm not going to read out all the flavor text, or we'll be here all night. But basically, we're going to be wandering around this map and looking to collect these keywords. We've got forest, mountain, and place. So we're going to head into the forests and head into the mountains and try and overcome encounters and collect those keywords and top up some gold to level up our hero. But we also have this smuggler, and she is up here. And when you hover over the smuggler card here, it'll point out that she is in the Lonely Gorge, which is nicely highlighted on the map there. So we can see we're going to head north. And then I like to look at the route. So we want to go through these green and red backdrops to the keywords. The green forest, the red mountain mean that we want to head to green and red locations. And as luck would have it, there's no green locations on the way up to the Lonely Gorge. They're all over here, out of our way. But I really value the smuggler early on, so I think we're going to head to her. And she is in a mountain location, and we are after a mountain encounter, so that's a good direction to head in. And as any veteran player of Gloom of Kilforth will tell you, the first action you should take in this game is the noble hide. Okay, so at the start of the game, you'll get, at the start of every day, you'll get actions equal to your current health, and our health up here is 4. So we're going to get 4 actions today. I'm going to spend the first action to hide, and this will allow us to potentially sneak past any enemies that are too powerful that we meet, and also get a surprise attack on them if we so choose to. We can jump in and battle them, and that's really going to give us an advantage in the early game, or at least maybe let us survive a little bit longer. So we are now hidden, as this little reminder up here will tell us, and we're going to head off. So the plains are slightly safer than the Badlands. We can go this way up to the Lonely Gorge, or we could go this way. But yeah, the Badlands have a lot more enemies, and the plains tend to be safer. There's a few enemies in the plains. We're not playing with the Encounters expansion in this. This is just the base game. The Encounters expansion ups the added danger level. It adds loads more variety to the encounters and rewards that you can get in the game. But it's definitely sort of geared towards veteran players. And since we're just doing like a first playthrough of the game here, I thought we'll just go for the base game. So we're going to head through the plains. So our second action is going to be on the radial dial here. We've got um, camp, which is basically end the turn, move, market, and stop hiding. Well, we just started hiding. Market. So in the city here, where we start, if we've got loads of money, we can come back here and buy stuff with 1 gold, which is all we start with up here. 1 gold. We're not going to be able to afford anything. So we're going to head off up into Barrowmore. And as soon as you go into a location, you draw a card that matches that location type. And here we have a vast wall with the place, respite, and plains keywords. And it's not an enemy, so it doesn't attack us or anything like that. That's going to sit there in the Barrowmore until we decide to come back and explore it. We do need a place keyword. And yeah, this is on the way. So we could start overcoming this vast wall now. One of the reasons we might want to just leave it here is as long as that vast wall is in play, it's made this location relatively safe. So if we come back through this location, we don't have to draw another encounter. We know that the wall is there. There's no enemies. So it's kind of a safe path back through the world. And I do only have 2 actions remaining, and that might not be enough to overcome it this day. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to keep heading off. And when we do get the smuggler, she's going to give us an extra sneak. When we come back here, we can use our sneak to overcome the vast wall. So we're going to leave that in play for now and use our third action to keep moving. So this is where we're headed, up to the Lonely Gorge. This is gorgeous artwork. And again, we've got the choice. We can go through the Badlands, which is scarier, slightly more dangerous, or we can play it safe and go through the verdant fields, the plains. And we can see the difference is they've got the blue plains symbol in the corner there, and the Badlands has this purple symbol for the Badlands. So we're going to head this way. And we've come across some people who would like their farm to be restored. And this is quite an easy encounter to overcome. There's only they have 1 study and 2 influence, so we'd have a really good chance of tackling this encounter. But again, it's kind of a distraction from what we're after. At the moment, we're only concentrating on these 3 keywords, and we don't really need to help these people as much as they might need our help. So, and again, because it's not an enemy, this has set up a safe path for us. So we're going to leave that there for now. The most important action, yes, Steve, hiding is the most important action in the game. Early on, anyway. Wait until we've leveled up and we can go around whomping monsters and stuff. But for now, this element of total danger that I wanted to introduce to the game comes from playing D&D in the 80s and 90s and just having encounters where you can just get instantly killed. So I wanted Kilforth to have like this deadly vibe, and you have to navigate through it, level up your character and gather allies and encounters and spells and items and stuff to become powerful enough to be able to take on the world. And yeah, so at the start, hiding and wandering around the map is totally fine. Don't be afraid to hide. In fact, we're coming up to a difficult decision now because we've still got 1 action left. We could move into the Lonely Gorge, but because it's and I can see Jarrett has updated it here. Just to the left of the Lonely Gorge banner on the left, you can see the little blue symbol. That shows that I have an ally in my hand that I can play there. That's really cool. He's just been putting in all these quality of life adjustments that just like improve the game each time, and he's like he's obsessive. He's the only person I've met who's as obsessive as me at trying to get things sorted and get things corrected. And so he updates the game almost every day. But yeah, if we go into the Lonely Gorge now, we've got 1 action. If it's an enemy, we can potentially sneak past that enemy today, and then we'll be stuck in the same location, which is an issue because the next day we would have to face that same enemy. Now, it might not be an enemy, it might be a place or a quest or a stranger, in which case it won't threaten us. So that's the gamble we have to make. However, in this game, the mountains are the deadliest locations, so it is likely to be an enemy. That said, we are hidden and we are a vampire, so I think we're going to take the risk. And the game, Vincent says, the game assumes you already know all the rules. Vincent, the game actually has a full tutorial. So you can hit new game and just you can either go to the tutorial, which will guide you through and teach you exactly how to play, or you can play the game with Jarrett's added like these tips, these tool tips, and they tell you what everything does. The first time you interact with a stranger, it'll tell you how to what that means and what options you have. The first time you get a reward card, it'll explain all that to you as well. So yeah, I mean this version of the game will potentially, it can teach you how to play, which is brilliant. I mean, I know that's what I'm doing. I've turned all the tooltips off and all the tutorials off, just so I can just walk through it at my own speed. But yeah, you can get a full. As Meltdown says, here is the game self. Jarrett's there. There is actually a tutorial off the main page that runs through the basics, and the entire rulebook can also be read off the main menu. Yeah, so that's all included and uploaded into the game. So you can literally get up and running by playing this. Although it'll hold your hand and do a lot of stuff for you. So playing the physical version, you still have to be on top of what all the components are and everything. Vincent says that sounds very useful. It is very useful, um, especially if you're coming back to it after 10 years. So wait. Okay, so I've got the option of going in. I did say we're a vampire, we don't mind, and we're going to face the enemy. But I'm also thinking, whilst we're here, we've got one action left. We could take a punt on restoring this farm and getting some gold and potentially a spell, which will help us early. So actually, I'm going to spend my last action to confront this encounter. So this is how you overcome encounters. And there's two methods of interacting with this one. We can use our study or our influence. And there's a helpful reminder down here that we have 2 study and 4 influence. So we've got 2 dice to get 1 success or 4 dice to get 2 successes. And in this game, successes are a dice roll of 5 or more, usually. So if there's any gamblers out there, you could try and work out the odds of getting a 5 or a 6 on 2 dice versus getting 2 9s or 6s on 4 dice. But we do have a system in this game called Fate, where we can influence the rolls a little bit. So I'm going to go through that in a second. There's just a little bit more chat. PC game. Yeah, this is for Windows, Mac, and Linux. I think Jarrett has. There we go. Oh, he's over it. He's all over it. He's answering the questions here. Stephen says, "I would study if need of Fate." Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to suggest. Yeah, so if we do study and we roll 2 dice, if we crap out, we'll be able to spend a fate token to get an automatic success. Whereas if we roll 4 dice and get 0 successes, we can't use fate. Fate can only be used once per day. So we're going to study, but we're not going to use fate because we don't need to. We're going to roll success. Are you ready? So we roll the dice here. And we got 0 successes. Okay, so this is a classic Tristan dice roll. I've turned off the dice animations just to speed things up. But yeah, we didn't roll a 5 or a 6. So we can either confirm that and that's the last action of the day and then we camp down and it's the day over, or like I said, we can spend fate, and up here we can see this little thing says, yeah, those rolls looking familiar, Steve. We've got 4 fate tokens, so we're going to spend one of those. And in the early game, I'm quite happy to spend through these just to get things moving. So because we can get fate later on in the game by collecting rumours, and I'll show you that later. So we'll spend that fate token. Oh yeah, here it is. So we can discard a rumour. Oh, of course, because we start with this rumour. So we could use this as a fate token. We could discard the smuggler. So if we've run out of fate tokens, that would be an option for us. But obviously, if we discard her, we won't be able to discover her. And that's the whole reason we're up here in the first place. So I'm going to spend a token, get that success, and we have restored this farm successfully for these people. And we can either take a gold, and it's a humble 1 gold reward, which isn't brilliant, or we can draw a loot token, and there's a big bag of loot tokens, and they can be all kinds of fun things that will give you extra actions. They can give you healing, they can give you extra gold, they might give you more than 1 gold, but there are also traps, and there are potential negative effects in there as well. So we don't really want to muck about with that too much, or I don't. I'm not brave enough to muck about with that just yet. Later in the game, when gold isn't as much of an issue, I love drawing loot tokens. Early in the game, when I'm desperately trying to get the first 5 gold to get a level up, I don't mind scratching around for cash. So I'm going to take that 1 gold and be thankful So now we have the choice. We can either take the card into our hands as a reward, and this will give us the keywords assist, and planes, or we can take a spell card, and that will go into our hand as another rumor like this one, and it'll give us a location. So basically, these people will say, "Oh, we've heard of this amazing, mysterious magic that exists in this forest far away." And so you go and travel there, and you discover the spell, and you bring it into play, and you get a cool new ability. And we have 2 study. That's the purple stat there, the book stat, and that governs how good you are at casting spells. And we are not good at casting spells. So first of all, we're probably not going to take the spell. And up here, there's a handy reminder that we need this keyword quest for chapter 4 of our saga. So that's thinking ahead. We have 5 chapters in total to complete before we can find the evil ancient boss that's causing the gloom to spread across the land of Kilforth. And we're a long way away from chapter 4, so the chances of me still having this card in hand by then are very low. That said, it's nice to have runes in hand because they can be used, as we've seen, as fates. And so I wouldn't mind discarding this for fates necessarily. So I'm going to take that. And you can only have a hand of 6. That's why I'm sort of agonizing over the choice. What we've got here, Stephen says that might be an omen for the outcome of the game. Yeah, do you think? Well, it was a successful encounter. We restored that farm in short order. Meltdown says there is a context-based command. You don't necessarily need to use the radial. You can double-click on orthogonal tile and automatically move there. Similarly, cards will glow when discoverable or usable, and you can simply double-click them to discover or use. Yeah, so Meltdown is Jarrett, the guy who designed this digital version, and he's added like different ways that you can use the interface. This is like I'm using the very first interface that it came with, which is I'm guessing that's probably the new one, new and improved, but this is one I'm more familiar with. But yeah, there's different ways you can click the buttons and lay out the game, so it's really cool. Yeah, okay, so we're all out of actions now. The only action we can do now is camp. So that's a stop hiding. So we've got our hidden status here. If we stop hiding, there's no real game effects at this point. There's no enemies in our space or anything yet. And we'll automatically stop hiding during nighttime, which is the phase that's about to start now. So I'm going to hit the camp button. There we go. Night falls. Day 1. The heroes make camp as gloom creeps across Kilforth. So no hero is camp in a gloom location. So if one of these 25 locations is going to fall into gloom now, and if you camp in a gloom location, you'll take damage from it. So here we go. There is an eerie stillness. This is a weather card. Now, the weather cards in this game can be brutal, but this is the best one and probably the worst time to draw it because it's the start of the game. So all is quiet. There's no actual effects except for Barrowmore, one of the locations, one of the plains locations, is going to fall into gloom. And we get this nice little animation there. Accumulated encounter successes are cleared. Okay, so if we'd been tackling that encounter, that restore farm, and we'd gone for the 2 value influence, and we'd only got 1 success, and we needed 2 successes, any accumulated successes go at night time. So you've got to overcome an encounter within 1 day. And it says 1 hero no longer hidden. That's me. And all veiled cards and skills are unveiled. So that's like tapped and untapped. Only obviously we couldn't use those words when I was designing this game, so we had to come up with alternatives. So veiling is like tapping a card. Okay, so we're ready to go. It's the next day, day 2 of day 25. So we are still after discovering this smuggler who can help us in the Lonely Gorge. We're going to hide as usual. And we're going to set off and hopefully not draw an enemy. An enemy! It's the devil! Okay, so this is probably one of the toughest enemies. Yeah, he's pretty tough. If you have a title card and you go into battle with this guy, he will just sacrifice your title card immediately, which can be extremely punishing later in the game. If we fight him now, we don't have a title card, so we'll be okay, potentially. But he has 4 fight, we only have 3. He has 4 health, and we have 4. We could get the jump on him and gain an extra die in the first round of battle, but then the odds will go against us very quickly. So really we want to sneak past this guy. Okay, so battle commences, and we now have the choice of dropping our hidden status, jumping out of the shadows, and attacking him, which will give us an extra die in combat. We're not going to do that for now. I'll show you combat later. It's inevitably going to happen at some point, unless I die before then. So we're going to choose the coward's path and stay hidden. Okay, so he had a sneak value of 1, and we have a sneak value of 3. So normally you would need to roll 3 dice and score as many successes as he has sneak to be able to sneak past him. But we're playing. There is an option in the rules here. I'm just going to show you it quickly. There's a bunch of different settings you can use. Right, I'm just going to turn that sound down temporarily, actually. Yeah, they're in the main menu. When you set up a new game, I think you can choose whether or not you want to have different, what they call variants. So there's an option that we're playing with where if your sneak is higher than the sneak value of the enemy, then you can automatically evade it. You don't have to roll. So that devil is just going to sit there now, and he's still going to be there the next day. If we're still in this location by the next day, then we'll have to deal with him again. And because he'd be there at the start of the day, we wouldn't have the opportunity to hide. We'd go straight into combat with him. So we want to discover the smuggler and just get the heck out of here. What have we got here? I really like the terminology veil and unveil. Oh, cheers, Stephen. I appreciate that, but I think it confuses a lot of people because there's so many different card games that have like exhaust and ready or tap and untap, and in this case, veil and unveil. And there's always that, if there was a universal word for rotating a card slightly, it would be great. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I tried to be thematic with it. Does the interface also have the Pimp My Gloom version? Well, technically, you've got infinite dice on this version, and these are the what do you call it? The terror-sized location cards. So yes, and in fact, you can use the race standees instead of the class standees, which I think that's happened by default. Yeah. So normally, our little guy there would be the artwork of the rogue. And as it happens, we're playing with the artwork of the dude. So yeah, the Pimp My Gloom version is in there. And of course, it's now the deluxe version of Gloom. Love the art to this game, says Stephen. Well, all your games are the best. People could argue, but they could be wrong. Well, I heartily agree with you in that because I didn't do any of the artwork, so I think it's fair for me to say that the artwork is brilliant. And obviously, I'm dead lucky to work with a team of amazing artists because as you saw in the last Wyvernmore update, I keep saying that wrong. Um, you can see how bad the art would look if I drawn it myself. So where were we? Okay, the devil. Right, so we have got to get out of here fast. But before we do, we're going to bring this smuggler into play. So to do that, we're going to take a discover action, which is this one here. If we wanted to come out of hiding at any point, we can do that for free. Battles don't cost actions, they just happen automatically. So we could still get the jump on him if we wanted to and give that a go. But what's actually going to happen is we're going to discover the smuggler, and you'll see our sneak value at the top left is going to go up to 4 as soon as we bring her into play. Boop. And we've got 1 action left, so we are going to get the heck out of there. And we're looking for forests, mountains, and places are most likely to be found in forests, which is why that keyword is green. And I know we said that Badlands are scarier than plains. I'm actually going to go this way because this card, the Darkmire, has a direct shortcut to the Oldwood. And I want to start getting to the woods. And if we start moving to the woods now, it's going to take us 1, 2, 3, 4 actions. Whereas if we go through the Darkmire, we can move on to the Darkmire, and then next round we can basically effectively teleport straight over to this old wood here. So even though there might be a scary monster, I'm going to go this way. And it's an event. Okay, so events don't stay on the board; they're just one shot. You just resolve them and then uh, discard them. So this event says captured. The weakest hero performs a sneak 3 test. When you're playing solo, you are both the weakest and the strongest hero, so you'll get hit by every event in the game. This one's actually beneficial. If we pass this sneak 3 test, we're going to gain an ally. The desperate voice from the cell begs to be freed. And it's 3 sneak, and we have 4. So we're going to roll 4 dice, and we need 3 successes. So it's actually very unlikely. If we get 2 successes, we could spend fate to boost our chances and get the ally, which might be worth it. But I think we all know how this dice roll is going to go. Oh, okay. So we failed, but we got 2 successes. So now we can spend that fate token and do exactly what I just said and get the ally. We're going to go for that. So we'll spend that fate token. We could discard a rumor. Ooh, we could discard a rumor. We were saving this up for chapter 4. And and the other reason I'm not going to discard it is actually there are game effects that can make you discard rumors. So it's nice to have one in your hand that you're not too fussy about. And if it gets discarded, it doesn't completely screw your plans over. So I'm not going to use a rumor. I'm going to use a fate token. And that has changed it to a nice green success. So we have got an astral seer. Which is brilliant because she is a pious ally. You can only have one ally of each unique keyword. And our current ally, the smuggler, is a shadow ally. That's what the asterisk in front of shadow means. You can only have one of those. So if this astral seer was a shadow ally as well, she wouldn't get on well with the smuggler. You wouldn't be able to have them both in play. But the seer we can take, and she's going to give us +1 influence and a one-shot ability. We can sacrifice her to defeat a quest at our location, which may come in useful later in the game. Okay, so we're going to gather that as a rumor. She comes into our hand, and we can see she is living in a dead swamp, which is presumably where she gets all the hair gel for that gigantic hair that she has. So we can make a detour down there and go pick her up. I did want to go to the forests. We were on our way over to the old road because there's loads of forests in this half of the map. There is a forest further past her in this direction. We could change direction and head down there, but it is kind of a distraction. We don't have a single keyword of our saga yet, and I do get distracted quite easily, which is why we're still only on day 2 after half an hour. So, yeah, I'm maybe just going to leave her hanging around for a bit, and then when we move over to that side of the map later, then we can go and get her. Because we're not too fussed about influence at the moment. We've got plenty of influence. 4's decent. And we're out of actions anyway, so that is the day. So we're going to camp. We're not camped in Gloom, so we don't take any damage. And we draw a night card. So every day after you've done all your actions, you draw a night card, and the game effectively gets a turn. So here we've got the Rising Bluffs mountain is going to fall into Gloom, and a Rosen Knight has appeared. And this is quite a cool guy. He will come into play and kill an enemy, discard an enemy from play. There aren't. Oh, there are enemies. He's going to go and kill that devil for us. Ah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we continue that. That location has just zoomed in and gone into Gloom, and now we have to select an enemy that the Rosen Knight has gone to slay. So we've just come out of the Lonely Gorge and said, "Help! There's a devil in there!" And this Rosen Knight's gone, "I've got it." So he's going to go in there and kill him, which doesn't actually get us a direct benefit. It removes him from the map, so that location is now explorable. What have we got in? Is this game like Withenmoor from Horror Hello? This game is set in the same world as Withenmoor. So my Wyvenmoor, I've got to get it right. After about 40 odd years, I realised I was pronouncing it wrong. It's Wyvern. So is this game like Wyvenmoor? It's set in the same world, Kilforth, which is my fantasy adventure world, but it's a completely different system. There are no dice rolls in Wyvernmoor. It's a card-based game, and you have a deck of cards that you'll use to control your hero each round. We're sort of building a hand of rumors and a tableau of cards, up to 6 cards in front of us, and we're using dice to overcome encounters and sagas to tell stories. Whereas Wyvernmoor is very different consideration. There are videos online of Creel Manor, which is the prequel to Wyvernmoor, and it uses the exact same system. So if you watch a YouTube video of Creel Manor, you get a really good sense of how Wyvernmoor plays and how different it is to this game. Both. So Gloom of Kilforth takes place over over 25 days, and is like this sort of epic, grandiose adventure where you're going from zero to hero over the course of the game. Whereas Wyvermore is like a campaign game where you're leveling up your hero between adventures and stuff. Stephen says, I love shortcuts, especially when they're side by side. So when you set up the game, the map always has Sprawl City in the center. That's like the only safe location. And then you shuffle up the cards and place them randomly around it. So you get a nice different setup each time you play. And yeah, many times where you'll have these locations that are just like adjacent to each other and meaningless, these shortcuts. There's another shortcut on the map as well. Here, yeah, there you go. The shortcut from Barrowmore to Lava Canyon is exactly one space away. So you win some, you lose some. Depends how you set it up. Coda says, "Can you save the game and finish it later?" Absolutely. Yep. You just hit escape, and it actually auto saves. So you're always, I think it banks like the most recent 5 days. So we've got day 1, 2, and 3 here, and then you can see my save from the last game. In fact, there's tons of games on there. So yeah, you can absolutely save it and pick it up later. Stephen says, Rose and Knights versus Devil as the half demon runs. I love the money stories this game writes itself. Yeah, so, well, remember, we're a vampire, not a half demon. Half demon was the other option. I take it that was an option you chose. Sorry if I overruled you. Yeah, we're a sneaky rogue vampire, and we had to let the Rose and Knight do our fighting for us at this point. Vincent says, this playthrough really makes me want to play this game again. Brilliant. Yes, it's so playing this digital version of the game has kind of um, got me back into my own game because um, short of demoing it at conventions and stuff, I'm always designing new games or working on the latest game. So games like Gloom of Kilforth and Shadows sort of sit on my shelf, and I don't really get the opportunity to sort of jump in and just play them as often. Well, hardly ever, in fact. So this has been brilliant for me to actually get back into it and go, oh yeah. So I remember why I designed it like this, because I wanted a fantasy game that played like this, and there wasn't one on the market. They were all like fighting games, and I really wanted one that was about exploration and going on quests and gaining allies and meeting strangers and discovering ancient tombs and raiding them and all that kind of stuff. And of course, now they're 10 a penny on Kickstarter. Every other game is like a 1 to 4 player fantasy adventure game. But back in 2015, there wasn't really anything like this. And excuse me, it's been really fun to sort of get back into it and see how it's aged. And I really still enjoy it, but obviously very biased. Uh, Steve says, if you need peer pressure, I'm here to help. Yes, you must and have to play again and again. Yeah, Stephen has like an ongoing game of Gloom of Kilforth, Shadows of Kilforth, and Call of Kilforth all rolled out with like 75 locations and 12 ancients and a million heroes. So he's one of the experts on this game. He's the man to talk to about. Steve says, yes, that's right. And you did choose the half demon. Okay, yeah. I thought you guys were trolling me a little bit by making sure that there were even results in the polls of like which racing class to play. But yeah, here we are. Vampire Rogue. Okay, so back to it. We've got a new day. We've got all our actions. We're looking for a forest, mountain, and place. And of course, we did leave this place here to explore later. We got the smuggler to help us out with the extra sneak. But now it's in Gloom. Um, so if I move in there, I'm only going to have 3 actions, 3 sneak actions to get 4 successes. So that's going to be 12 dice to get 4 successes and potentially a fate token. So we would only need 3 successes. But then we would end the turn in Gloom and we would take damage. And when you take damage at the start of the next day, you have less actions. So you have actions equal to your health. So we started this day on 4 health. We've got 4 actions. So if we go here, it's going to be like it's going to be a decreasing amount of power that we'll have to tackle it and to get out of the gloom afterwards. So if we get desperate, we'll come back there, I think. But for now, I'm going to go to this old wood keeps flashing up because the shortcut's connected. I think it's like a sign. It's saying, come to the old wood. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to go into hiding, of course. Oh, so now we've got an activate a free ability. So we can, oh yeah. Yeah. The smuggler will allow us to veil to become hidden. So every round now, you guys need to remind me. I just need to veil her at the start of the day, and we get to hide for free. The only disadvantage is that whilst she's using her veil ability, we won't get the benefit of her extra sneak. So that's a bit of a yeah, but it's still better if we jump out on a monster. We're not gonna. Yeah, no, I'm gonna veil her. So that's a free action as well. So we get to keep that fourth action. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to move over to the old wood, and we have a gypsy. And okay, she's a pretty intense stranger. She's got like 4 influence. We've got 4 influence. She's quite tough if it comes down to a fight. She loves potions. If we had a potion, we'd just be able to. Her weakness is potion. We'd be able to win her over instantly and just claim her reward. We don't have a potion. Um, do we want to encounter her? We do need her forest keyword. Um, yeah, we could have done with if we had the astral seer, we'd have that extra influence to deal with her. And I was all like, no, we'll leave her for later. Okay, yeah, we're going to come and speak to the gypsy. So we're going to stop hiding. That's free. You can't confront them from the shadows. You have to come out of the bushes and say hello. So I'm going to confront the gypsy. Now she has a bunch of stats here with different symbols on. So unlike the quests and the places that we saw before, strangers are people and they behave differently and sometimes unpredictably. So one of the things we can do is try and approach her using influence and win her over. And if we do that, we have 4 dice to get 4 successes. And we've got 2 more actions. So we'd have 12 dice effectively because you accumulate successes over the same day. So 12 dice to get 4 successes or 3 if we spent a fate token. So we got a good chance. The other option is we could just fight her. And if we fight her, she has 3 attack dice and we have 3 attack dice. And we have more health than her by 1. But yeah, I feel like at this stage in the game, we should at least try to negotiate. Also, what will happen is if we fail entirely, we get no successes when doing an influence test. She will just, we've insulted her, we've kicked over a drink or done something, and she will turn into an enemy anyway. So who knows? Maybe that will happen. Let's find out. Okay, so we used 1 action and we rolled 4 dice and we got 1 success. So the good news is she didn't kick us out or turn angry. We now have 2 actions left. We can confront her again and keep spending actions to get more successes. We could come out of this, just confirm this, and decide to attack her instead. Or we could leave her there and move on as long as she exists in that location, kind of like the wall. She's made that location relatively safe. Enemies are unlikely to spawn there. But I think we're going to keep confronting. What have we got here? Cody says, fabulous. I do prefer gaming with physical components. This is looking really good for me to try out different race class combinations. Yeah, it's brilliant for that. Um, like you can set up a game like instantly. Like Gloom has, setup isn't actually too bad in Gloom. It's just shuffling a bunch of decks. But being able to just do it instantly and then try really wacky combos of races and classes and sagas can be a lot of good fun. Like especially if you pick a saga that is not fit for your class. So, for example, we've got 2 study at the moment, and if we had a study saga, that would be a real challenge. And with the encounters expansion, it can get even more challenging, more crazy. So it's really good for testing out those different combinations. Uh, as Steve says, the action economy being based on main health is such a cool mechanic. Thank you. Yes. So a little peek behind the curtain there. That is a lift from an old board game that's as old as me called Magic Realm, which again was this incredibly punishing old game where the more injured you were, the less actions you could perform. And I thought that's brilliant thematically. It's amazing. But Eurogamers would hate this as because you have to spend actions to heal if you get damaged. But if you get damaged in this game, it's often due to the choices that you've made that have led to combat and things like that. So yeah, I like having the health govern the actions. I feel like it's thematic. So we're going to confront her again. We're going to make another influence roll, and this time we're going to get 3 successes. Ooh, 2 isn't bad. Okay, so we could confront her again. We've still got 1 action left, but if we're 1 away, we've got 3 out of 4, and you can see we only need 1 more success. I like to spend a fate token at this point and just swing it, and then we can use the extra action to do something else. So I will spend that fate token and defeat her. And we do need the forest keyword, so we'll probably be taking her card. We'll take the 2 gold that she gives us as well. We could get another ally instead, but no, we need to start focusing on keywords and not getting distracted by new shinies. And we still need a mountain encounter and a place encounter. So there's a mountain next door. There's a place just beyond it as well. But we can also stay put and we can just search as an action. We can spend an action to search this location for another encounter. We're not hidden anymore. And we can't use her to hide because she's veiled, so we won't get her back until the next day. I just like to have my discoverable rumours on the left, so I'm just going to move that over there. So if we do a a search action, and it's an enemy, they'll get the jump on us. So because we're not hidden, they'll get the surprise bonus instead. And forests can be, there are enemies in the forest, it can be quite dangerous. If we went to the mountains, the same thing would happen and we're not hidden. We've got better odds in the forest. I'm going to search. And it's an altar. Okay, which is perfect. That's got the place keyword, which we're after. And at the start of the next day, we won't need to veil the smuggler to hide. So we'll have her sneak to help us tackle this. And if we defeat it, we gain a spell, which we almost certainly won't be able to cast because we are too dumb for that. Okay. Steven says, no life form, you'll be fine. Yeah. We did a promo card for the life form board game, and you can shuffle the actual life form, the alien basically, into Gloom of Kilforth, which seems like a really fun idea for a promo. And then when you're just wandering around the supposedly relative safety of the world, all of a sudden this alien can just pop out and devour you. But yeah, we don't have that in this game, so we're good. And we're out of actions, so we're going to camp, and we're going into nightfall. No heroes camped in gloom. And we've got a new weather effect. So the eerie stillness is gone and we now have freezing snow, and obstacles are going to appear at each quest when quests come into play. And that location's just fallen into gloom. There are no quests at the moment, but we'll come across, we'll discuss obstacles when they come up. So for now, I'm going to get the sound effects back on because they're cool. Snow. And we're going to tackle the sanctified altar. So we're going to sneak into this place, I think, using our 4 sneak. So again, study, you've got 2 dice to get 3 successes, or 4 dice to get 3 successes. So obviously we're going to go for this one. Oh, look at that. Now we're rolling. Actual dice results. 3 successes in 1. Bosh. And we will still take the gold. We've got 4 gold at the moment. We want to get at least 5 to be able to complete our first chapter. Each chapter costs you 5 gold to complete. And so we're still shying away from loot tokens just for now. And I would like a title. The title will be a cool reward that we can go and discover. And some of them are really cool. You can get a horse or a steed of some kind. Maybe even an eagle or a dragon. But we need this place keyword, so we're taking this one for now. And a spell. Familiar spell, which is great. You sacrifice this to draw 5 allies and put one of them directly into play and discard the others. So that would be awesome, but it's locked by people who have 4 or higher study, and we have 2. So that's not happening. We can either sell that at the market, or we can discard it for fate. Unless we get a study boost later in the game. So now we are after a mountain encounter. Okay, so we're going to have to finally get into the mountains and see what's happening. So we'll hide using the smuggler for free, and then we've still got 3 actions to tackle whatever is in Lava Canyon, which I've discussed has the amazing shortcut all the way to here. Next restored. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Beast Man. I kind of feel sad fighting these guys because they kind of they don't look aggressive to me. They look kind of mellow and ancient, and I feel like I feel bad fighting him, but we need his keyword, and there's no other way to tackle an enemy. The sneak value there is purely to show that you can sneak past, which we could. We had 3 sneak, we could avoid him. But actually what we're going to do, we're going to do a combat. We've been putting it off for long enough. So, battle commences, we're going to come out of the shadows, drop our hidden status, and surprise attack him. If we weren't hidden, and we drew him this round, he would get surprise on us, which basically means +1 fight die for the first combat round. So he would have 4 fight dice instead of 3. But because we're hidden and we're surprising him, we'll have 4 fight dice, and he'll only have 3 for the first round. And fighting works slightly differently. The enemies aren't passive, so we're going to go straight into combat, and every success that I get is going to remove 1 of his health, and every success that he gets is going to remove 1 of mine. And we're going to keep going until he kills me, I kill him, we both kill each other, or I cowered off and run away after the first fight round. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to roll. So we're rolling 4 dice for the first combat round. It should be 3, but we have that extra surprise die. So we want to get 3 successes to take him out of 1. We get 1, he gets 2. This isn't great. Okay, so we could confirm that and keep fighting. We could spend a fate token, which won't help at this point because we've got 1 success, he's down to 2 health. If we spend a fate now, he'll go down to 1 health. We'd still have to do another round of combat. If we continue fighting and he does the same thing again, 2 more points of damage in the next fight round, then we're going to get KO'd. We'll get knocked out and we'll lose all our gold and we'll have to discard a rumour, and it's not good. But we are the vampire, and the vampire has quite a cool ability where if we defeat the enemy, we heal 2 HP. And that happens in the window of the combat ending and before you dying. So we could drink his blood, basically, and survive, potentially. So normally, any other character I'd probably escape now and call it quits, and then rest up, come back and try again later. But we're going to push our luck, and we're going to confirm this and go again. So we're both down to 2 health, so we need 1 hit on him, and then we can spend our last fate token to finish him off. So fight rounds will just happen continuously now. They don't cost actions, they just happen simultaneously, continuously, until the battle ends. So here we go, next roll. Kind of dramatic. We both miss each other. This game reminds me of Talisman board game. Yeah, some reviews have called it like advanced Talisman. So like going around and having encounters and stuff. Only at least in this one you have to roll to see where you end up. So it's less sort of Monopoly-like in that respect. Beckwet says, I suck at rogue in this game, obviously not sneaky enough. Well, we'll see if I suck at rogue. We'll see how this goes. So, we're going to confirm that and we're going to keep fighting. 2 successes. Okay, so he's toast. And he's going to do another 1 point of damage to us, so we're down to 1 health. But our vampire ability should kick in and bump us back up to 3. There we go. And we can take a gold, or we can draw a loot token. And now we've got 5 gold to complete our first chapter, and we're going to get his mounting keyword. Part of me is feeling like we should maybe risk a loot token, because it could be like a potion of heal us, it could be more than 1 gold. 1 gold is like a low reward. So I'm going to risk a loot token and hope it's not something terrible. A tome, which gives us 1 regale action, and a regale action is how you level up, so that's actually exactly the next action we're going to do. So that's pretty neat, because we're all out of actions now. Also, every time you take a point of damage you lose an action, so combat can be very draining in that respect. But we're going to read this tome and get a free regale action to level up before the day is up. So yeah, he would normally give us an item, which could be really cool. It could be like a sword or something, or armour. But we need his keyword, we need that mountain keyword, so we're going to take this card. Okay, and now we are all set to complete our first chapter 1 of our saga. We need the forest, mountain and place keyword. We need 5 gold and we need to do a regale action. And normally we'd do that on the radial thing here, but we don't need to because we've got this tome which we're going to study. Activate that, we discard it, it's gone for good. And then the saga is now asking us to select cards with keywords that match the keywords on the saga. And we've got these 3 and they're all going to get discarded. And we level up. So now we can choose a skill. So we're a rogue, so we're going to choose from the rogue path of skills, and there's 4 main classes. We're the shadow class, so we're going to be choosing sneaky type actions, and we've got forager, veil at a forest location to heal 1 HP. So every round, if you're walking through a forest, you can heal, or spend an AP to look at the top card of an encounter deck, which is brilliant for seeing what lies ahead. You know, if you want to go into the mountains but you're worried that there's an enemy there, you just do a lookout ability and check it out. Getting torn on this. Healing is really good early on as well. We're down to 4 out of 5 health. If we just pass through a forest with this for a free action, we'd heal up, which is also neat for the action economy. I think I'm going to go for forager. And we are out of actions. And we're on to chapter 2 of our saga. Okay, so now we're looking for another place, another enemy, and a title. So we can get a title from this vast wall here. The crown symbol at the bottom right next to the gold value means that you'll draw from the title deck. So we're probably going to go there next. We'll just heal up first. And camp. No heroes in Gloom location, so we're not taking damage. And we've got new weather, and it's even worse weather, pelting hailstone. So now when night begins, each hero who isn't already hidden or at a location with a place encounter loses health. So I have to try and remember this one. I must forget. For instance, says heal. Yeah, I do need to heal. I didn't have any actions left, so I wasn't unable to heal at this point. But we're going to try to get that health back. So we've got pelting hail. And all the successes are cleared. Veil cards are unveiled. Okay. So if we, as a rest action, we can just spend an action point here to rest, and that will get us the last health back. I was thinking if our journey takes us through a forest, I can use my new fancy forager ability to just heal for free. But I don't think it's going to be this turn. We're going to go straight into Barrowmore and try and tackle this vast wall and get that title. So I will rest here, and then we need to hide at the end of the day. If we hide using her now, we're going to lose that sneak, and we're going to be using her sneak to help us find a way into the vast wall. So I have to try and remember. Get in there, find the vast wall, and then use her to sneak. Oh, we're down on actions. We've only got 3 actions left. It's going to cost 1 action to move in, and then we'll get two goes at the vast wall before night comes and the gloom hits us. But that's okay. Even if we don't get it this turn, we'll have 4 actions next turn to get it. We won't be able to rest. You can't rest on the same location as an encounter, so we won't be able to rest in there until we've cleared it. So, slide the ambient down ahead, the weather effect is over my voice, okay, yep. How's that? Okay. So we're heading in. And it looks like Eric has joined us in the chat. Sorry I can't make this one, I'll try to make the next one. No worries, dude. Horror Hello says that's a bit loud. Is it quieter now? Better? Okay. Cool, so we've got 2 actions left to try and tackle this fast wall. We're going to do some amazing rolling now. In fact, what we'll do is we're going to roll 4 6s, claim this in 1 action, and then use the last action to move out of this gloom location into Spore City, so we don't take any damage whatsoever. So let's do confront action. We can either use fight, 3 dice to get 4 successes, or sneak, 4 dice to get 4 successes. So go with sneak, and here we are, 4 6s. 1 success. Okay, so we'll confront again, our final action. This does mean we're going to be sleeping in gloom, but we did get that extra hit point. Yeah, we've got 5 hit points now from leveling up. Each time you level up, you'll get another hit point, up to a maximum of 8 usually. So the more actions you get, the more health you have, the more health you have, the more actions you're going to get at the start of each day. So we'll confront again, and if we get 2 successes, we can use fate to win this over. Otherwise, we'll start again on the next day. 2 successes, come on. Okay, 1 success. So a total of 2. So we'll call it there, and we'll camp. But before we camp, yes, remember to use the smuggler to hide, because, as the pelting hail says, if you're not hidden, or at a location of the place, you lose a health. So I suppose technically we can hide under the vast wall and not take any damage. But we are camping. And we're camped in gloom, so there goes our health. We lose 1 health point. And a demonic rite has now taken place, which oh my gosh. It has destroyed a building, so one of the places in play is going to be discarded. Guess which one that is? The vast wall is gone. Okay. It's fine. We're good. Greg says, love the sound effects. This is really nicely done. Yeah, I'm really impressed. And like the snow going down the screen, and the rain effect does that as well. And if you get the lightning storm, there's some really cool like ambient effects, sounds and visuals. Right, okay. So we've got a new day. We've got no keywords for our next chapter. And we're looking for a place, enemy and title. We're unlikely to find them here in the plains. We may, but it would be better to move on. So we might be going back to these locations here, the mountains and forests over here. They are a bit deadlier. The mountains are much deadlier. The prayerful thing to do would be to use a rest action now, make sure we've got full 5 health before we go in there. The action point greedy part of me wants to get through the mountain into a forest and then use our forager for free to heal. But that's not going to happen. We're probably more likely to find an enemy here. So I'm going to spend the rest action. Get us back to full health. Use the smuggler to hide because we don't know what's coming. It might not be a place. So we do want to be hidden. And then we're going to move back to Lava Canyon, see what we get. A troll. Okay. So the troll is kind of an even match for us roughly at the moment. We've both got 3 fight. We've got the extra health. We've got 5 to his 4. But every battle round he heals 1 health, which is terrible. If we come out of hiding now and get the surprise attack, we've got that 1 extra die that we can use on him. And if he beats us up a little bit, as long as we win, we can use our vampire ability to heal up. So what I might do is just jump out, fight him and see how it goes. We do need that enemy keyword, which he has. And if it starts going south, we'll just run away. So, let battle commence. So we could have stayed hidden, walked past him, gone to the forest, healed up with the forager, it's too late for that now, and go looking for the place and title keywords first. In fact, it's still not really a terrible idea. But yeah, I think we're going to fight. Okay, so we're rolling 4 for the first round because of the sneak attack. And we get 2 successes, which is great. He will be down to 2. But then next round he heals 1, so we'll be back up to 3 health. And we're taking 2, so we're down to 3. And the more health we lose, the more actions we lose. Yeah. Horror Hello says, the sound is loud but good. Okay, I'll turn the sound down a bit more and just finish this fight. So we're going to go for another battle round. We'll risk it. No successes and we take one. So we're out of here. Yeah, we're going to escape. And we'll escape into the Shrouded Glade. So we lose all our remaining actions. As soon as you escape, your day is over. We're down to 2 health, which isn't ideal. And we have to camp. Oh, we're not hidden, so we're going to take another damage. So we're down to 1 health. That wasn't a very effective turn. And the pelting hail is gone. But we now have a howling gale, which is going to put obstacles on each stranger as they appear. Okay, so we'll come to obstacles again when they show up. Right, so we've triggered our first plot. The Prince of Ruin, who we're battling, is this handsome chap over here. And each round, when a location falls into gloom, a forest falls into gloom, he's going to send out a plot. And in this case, we have the Veil of Ruin. So we've got to, at some point, go over and tackle these plots. And he can put out a total of 6. And if we defeat them, we have to spend this action. This is quite an easy one to defeat. All heroes must lose 1 action point, which in solo is not too terrible. But if we don't defeat it, at the start of the battle, he'll add this ability to his skill set. And this one is Sacrifice a Title. So as soon as we go into the fight, he'd just discard one of our title cards, if we had one by then. Which we'll be lucky to get at this rate. So that's going to come into play on that gloomed location. It also has keywords. It has place and respite keywords. So we could, if we defeat it, we'd add that place keyword. That would be good for us. We need it for this chapter. And another of the Prince of Ruin's special abilities is he gains health for each place in play. So we do kind of want to clear the places down if possible. Oh yeah. And I'll just turn that sound down again. Okay. Oh, hello. Yeah, let us know if the sound's okay now. Okay. So we're down to 1 health, and we've got 1 action. Which ordinarily we'd have to just use to heal. But we introduced a new rule for long rests, which came in Call of Kilforth, and we've backwards introduced it into Shadows of Kilforth and Gloom of Kilforth. So basically you give up all your actions for the day and do a long rest, which gets you back to full health, and it gets you up and running a bit faster. Well, a lot faster in our case. So we'll do a long rest, get all our actions back, and skip a day. Which means another location is going to fall into gloom, and we've got now pouring rain. So when the day starts, when breaking camp ends, each hero loses an action point. So the rain is going to keep our actions down. Normally we'd have 5 because we've got 5 health. We're down to 4. So new plan. Right, the troll has vexed us. We do need to get rid of this Veil of Ruin. We need that place keyword. We need a title, and we need an enemy. It's not going to give us a title, that one. So we're going to explore this Shrouded Glade where we are now and see if we can find a place here. And I'm going to take the risk of not using the smuggler in case we need her sneak value. Which means if an enemy shows up, we're in trouble. Sounds good, thanks. Okay, cool. So do we hide? If an enemy comes out and we have another battle like that, it's going to really throw us back. We're already on day 8 out of 25, and we've only completed 1 chapter, which means progress isn't amazing at the moment. The Astral Seer is right nearby. I think we might go and fetch her. But it is kind of a distraction. Everything's a distraction from the mission. Okay, let's do it. Let's search. And we're not hidden. If there's an enemy, we're in trouble. But hopefully it's going to be a place. It's a place. It's a good place. It's a secret pool. And it's a nice, easy 2. So we're going to straight away use an action to confront. So we're going to roll 4 dice, and we need 2 successes. So that's 2 5s or 6s. And we got 1. So we can spend another action and confront again, or we can spend our last fate token and just complete that now and save our actions up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend the last fate token. Confirm that. We're taking gold. We are collecting gold. I don't want to risk a loot token at this point because we need 5 gold again and we're only on 1. We're very poor. So we'll take the gold. We'll take the place and we'll heal to... We don't need the healing at this point. And... Okay, I got that wrong. We should have gone for a title because we can get the place keyword from this plant. Oh dear. Yeah, I should have got the title. Never mind, it's all good, it's all good. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to go and get this Astral Seer. I just feel like having the extra influence and having the ability to defeat a quest instantly. Is it necessary? No, maybe I'm just going to... No, I'm going to keep searching. I'm going to try and find another place. get that title. Okay, here we go. We've got another place. We found a curative font. And it's another, hopefully, easy one. So we're going to confront this one. And we're going to remember to get a title when we defeat this one. So sneak, 4 dice to get 2 successes. Here we go. 1 success. We can't spend fate because we already did it this day. That's that. It's night time. We don't need to heal. We don't need to hide. But it's good practice. Camp. Okay, so a new quest has been put into place. So sometimes the night deck will just spawn encounters and fill up the board, and sometimes you'll need these keywords that it's throwing out. And this one's quite nearby. And it also means if we go to that location, we don't get to draw an encounter card because there's already one there. And there's a new plot. And to defeat this one, you have to sacrifice a title. And if you don't, in the final battle, he will just ignore all the title abilities that you have. So if we're going to get titles, this is one to get rid of ASAP. But to defeat it, we need to sacrifice a title. So it's a big ask. Yeah. Okay. Pouring rain has drenched our hero. We're down 1 action. But we're going to confront this curative font with 4 dice. And we need 2 successes. And we got it. And we're going to take the gold, slow and steady. Or do we risk the loot? Yeah, we'll take the gold. And we're going to get the title. Sheriff. When you defeat an enemy, gain a gold. That would be neat. Heal 3 HP. We don't need to heal. He is all the way down there. Here. Yeah, it's a bit of a schlep to get there. We still need an enemy keyword. I'm not keen on the idea of fighting this troll, but we might have to. We do have to clear this plot. When we discard cards for their keywords, if they're in our hand, the rumours, they just get discarded. If they are on assets that we have in play, we don't necessarily have to discard it. We can choose to discard it. So, what I mean is, we want this title keyword on this sheriff. If we use it now, we discard the sheriff to get that title keyword, to put it towards this chapter 2. If we go all the way down to his location, the Hidden Woods, and bring that title into play and effectively become the sheriff, when it comes to determining the keywords for the saga chapter, we don't have to discard him. We can keep him in play. And we can then go to this plot and sacrifice the sheriff title to get rid of it. But it's a lot of actions. There's a lot of running around. It'd be like running 1, 2, 3, bring him in. Then 1, 2, 3, come back here. And then another action to discard. It's going to be like 2 days worth of stuff. In the meantime, the gloom is spreading. The time's running out. And we still need to find an enemy. Yeah. And we need 2 gold. If we could, if we knew how to defeat this troll, he's got 3 gold. He'd give us the enemy keyword and enough gold to get to our next chapter. And we could do that potentially, if we rolled really well, we could do that today, like in this round. So, but if we don't, it's a wasted day, and then we have to go looking around for an enemy that we can beat up. Okay, our other choice then is if we head down towards this sheriff, we're walking through potentially 1 or 2 mountain spaces. And the reason I'm highlighting those is mountains are more deadly, they're more likely to have enemies. So we might find your enemy, but it might also be a stronger enemy. Okay, we're going to use the smuggler to hide. And we're going to go to doobie-doo, doobie-doo. Do we fight the troll? He's right there, he's right there. But then we could discover one on the way to the sheriff. But then it could be tougher. I think we're going to go for the troll. We'll give it one more go. And if we can't beat him, we're just going to have to cut our losses and quit. Although, we've got 3 action points left. That's a lot of exploring. That's potentially 1, 2, 3 locations we could move through. And if we go for a battle and he beats us up, we lose all those extra actions and we don't get to explore other locations. So yeah, we're gonna move off. We're hidden. We're going into Spine Ridge Pass, and hopefully we get a nice, easy, rubbish enemy that we can just batter. A monk. Okay, the monk isn't an enemy. He's a stranger, and he is weak to pious. And if we'd have got the Astral Seer, we'd have been able to defeat him instantly without spending any actions whatsoever. Why didn't we get the Astral Seer when I said, I'm going to get the Astral Seer? Okay. But he's not a threat. The monk will just sit there until we decide to deal with him. And he has actually made a safe path back to these plots that we want to come and tackle. Would have been nice if he was an enemy, if he had the enemy keyword. He doesn't. We're moving on. Stephen says, sound like a plan, and another enemy will appear along the way. You're absolutely right. Well, I mean, in theory. Sound level's fine. Good. Good to know. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll get an enemy in here. Inspire Tor. Let's see. Black Castle. Okay, so there's me going on about how deadly the mountains are, and we're just pulling up all the encounters that aren't enemies. Although this is this is pretty good actually. This is if we defeat this, we get a free market action, and it's worth 3 gold. We'd have 6 gold, and we'd be able to get a buy. But a buy, like a market action at this stage, we could get an ally, an item, a title, or a spell, and bring it straight into play. But then it's taking gold away from that 5 gold that we need to level up to complete our chapter. And it'll be a lot of actions probably to beat that. It's really high, even though we've got fairly high sneak. 5 it's going to be a lot of time. Okay. I know what. We're going to keep moving, spend the last action. We're going to go into the forest down here, and it's going to be a forest enemy, and we're going to defeat it and get its keyword, and then we're all set. And we need it to be an enemy with at least 2 gold. That would work out beautifully. It's a shrine. Okay, so that's fine. We're gonna next round. We're gonna discover the sheriff. We're gonna become the sheriff basically for having explored all these locations and defeated all the mighty foes that we've defeated. And then we're gonna retrace our steps, or maybe we'll take a new path. We've still got a forest, and Badlands are pretty deadly as well. There could be an enemy here on the way. And we're right next door to another mountain. It's in Gloom, so that puts me off a little bit. But we could take a roundabout route. We could go here and hopefully get an enemy there, and we'd be on our way to going to get the Astral Seer. So yeah, we still have options. Okay, but not today. We're out of actions. We're going to camp. Tribal Chiefess. So this is just an encounter that's spawned by the night deck on top of the monk. So there's 2 strangers there if we ever need them. The rain is still coming. That's really punishing because we're losing an action every turn. We're going to first action discover the sheriff, and I don't know if you saw that the sheriff is needed for 2 keywords, 1 in chapter 2 and again in chapter 3. So if we'd have kept him as a rumour and discarded him, which would have been the path of least resistance because we wouldn't have had to move all the way down this map to bring him into play, then he'd be gone. And then we'd get on to the next chapter and we'd have to get another title keyword to be able to beat that. But now that he's in play, we can use him for both of these title keywords without having to discard him. And if we time it right, if we're still alive, we can beat those two chapters, then come down here to the Lair of Ruin and use him, and then discard him, sacrifice him to defeat this Lair of Ruin. Okay. Minor plan. So what are we doing next? Enemy. We need an enemy. But an enemy we can beat. Okay, so we're going to head into the gloomy rising bluffs. And we're going to hide first, as always. We're not yet in a position where we're tough enough to just charge around without hiding. We need that extra combat die. And we're going to move into the bluffs. Okay, it's an event. So events are one shot. They're discarded once played. And this one says, weakest hero performs a fight 3 test. If we pass, gain a title. And we've got a 3 fight. Oh, the odds are really low, but it would be a great little boost if we got a really cool title like a horse or something at this stage. So we'll give it a roll and get 3 successes. If we got 2 successes, we've got a bit of fate to play with. We could discard one of these rumours potentially. This farm that we restored, the rumour of it has spread through the lands that the vampire noble has, you know, has saved this quest. That's boosted our reputation. We could use that to influence this outcome. But we were saving it for chapter 4. We'll roll. We'll see what we get. 3 6s. Come on. Okay. Nothing. That's fine. There was no negative effects. We didn't lose anything from not making the test. We just missed out on a free boost. So we're still in the mountains. We don't want to stay here in the evening because the gloom will get us. We do want to keep forging a path up to here to the Dead Swamp to go and get the Astral Seer. But what we can do, we're still hidden. We're going to do a search here and see if we can find another enemy. Gargoyle. Okay, so we got an enemy and he's got a lower fight than us and a lower health than us, but his ability is during battle your 5s are not successes, which means he obviously needs 6s to get to land any hits on him, and we'd need to land 4 hits. That's 4 6s over the course of the battle. He's only got 2 dice, so he's not too aggressive, and we've got extra health. We've got 5 health. We could give it a go. He doesn't heal up like the troll, so we could see how it goes, and then if it starts going against us, we could run away. And we've still got a fate. We could spend fate, so we could technically look at him as having 3 health. It's a lot of 6s to roll. There's a lot of 6s, and you've seen my rolling. And my rolling has spread into the digital world. Like, that's kind of rolls I get in real life. So, what are we doing? Do we surprise him? We'd get an extra die. We'd have 4 dice in the first fight round. If we rolled 4 6s, we could take him out. He might miss us. He's only got 2 dice. He could roll a few misses and we could keep going for a few rounds, potentially. Or we can just walk past him. He's only got 1 sneak. We've got 3 sneak. We could stay hidden, evade, and just keep going towards the Astral Seer. But we need that enemy keyword. So, what would Stephen do? I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop hidden, surprise it, and let's go. We're going to get 4 6s. Ready? Bosh. No successes, and we take a damage. Okay, that's only 1 damage. We could go again. No successes on either side. Let's go again. We got 1, he got 1. So we're both down to 3. He can't kill us in 1 round because he's only got 2 attacks. So even if he got both hits in the next round, we'd still be able to run away. We've got 1, he's down to 2. If we get one more hit, we can spend that fate to finish him off. We just need 1-6. 3 dice, 1-6. Come on. We got it. Okay. And we're taking 1, so he's going to knock us down to 2, but our vampire blood frenzy will kick in and we will drain him and we'll get 2 health back. So we're going to spend the fate. And we need the secret pool. We're traveling to get her, yeah, so we're going to use Restore Farm. And then hopefully we'll have another quest in hand by the time we get to chapter 4. In fact, she lets us automatically, we can sacrifice her to automatically defeat a quest if we get that desperate. So, yeah. Gosh, and he's worth 3 gold, which is enough to level up. We don't have any actions left. I'm not going to be tempted by an item and cock the whole strategy up. But we are in Gloom, so we're going to take another hit from that. And we're not moving through a forest anytime soon to get our health back, unless... No. Okay. Day's over. The rain is lifted. And we have a pilgrimage. So another quest has come into play. Okay, we're not too concerned about quests. He doesn't feed off quests. He doesn't get any benefits from them. We can get spells if we defeat quests. But we're not really a spellcaster class, so we could potentially just leave that there. Let the Rosen Knights deal with the demon spawn themselves. It's not our business. Steve says, you can do it, yes. And we did. We did it. We defeated the gargoyle. Okay, so it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new life for this vampire. And we're going to regale straight away. Are we? Yes, we are. Okay, so if we hadn't have discovered the sheriff title, we would have at this point had to discard it. Now we have the option to keep it, or we can still discard it and get its gold value, 3 gold. But we need it for the next chapter, so we're going to keep the sheriff title. And now we have the choice of spotter or trapper. Trapper's cool. When a battle starts, your foe loses an HP, so straight away every enemy, including the final boss, has 1 less health, which is brilliant for enemies during the game. The Prince of Ruin has like at least 10 health, so at that point, 1 point of damage isn't amazing. And Spotter is when you start a battle with surprise, gain +1 fight until the end of the battle. So if we surprise everything, we get 2 dice instead of 1, and that's our whole thing, is sneaking around and surprising stuff. So 2 fight dice extra every round against enemies is pretty cool. We'd have like 5 dice in the first fight round of each battle, but you can't surprise the final boss, the Ancient. So it wouldn't work against him if we're even going to get to him at this point. I'm going to plan that we are going to get to him. If we can't use Spotter on him, we're going to go for Trapper, and it's still going to affect the minor enemies that we meet along the way. So, but then we are staying hidden. No, going for Trapper. Okay, we've got 2 actions left. We're off to meet the Seer. And we want a new set of keywords. And so, because we've got the sheriff title, we've already effectively got that first keyword. We need to overcome a stranger, which is fine. There's plenty of planes. We're about to go through the planes, and I think there's some strangers in play. Are there any strangers in play? Check in a sec. And an item. We could do buying an item from the market potentially. Yeah, there's 2 strangers over here. We could go and speak to. Oh, we could go and speak to the monk, and his weakness is pious. And when we get the astral seer, she has the pious keyword, we can instantly overcome the monk. So there you go. There's a path to the stranger. But we might meet one here. We're about to move into. We're about to move into Green Meadows, but we also need to heal. We need to get out of gloom. We're going to hide. We're going to rest once. If we rest again, we're going to stay in gloom, so we're going to gain that health and then lose that health. Net result, 0. If we move into a new location and an encounter comes in, we're not going to be able to rest because you can't rest on top of an encounter. So that 1 health is not coming back anytime soon. If we went into a forest, we could use our... Ooh. We could use our forager. That's not a bad idea. We could go to the sacred shrine sit in there, use the forager to heal, but then it's still going to take us 1, 2, 3 actions to get to the swamp where we need to get the seer. Okay, I'm just going to risk it. We're going to keep moving. We're going into the green meadows, and we're going to meet a lovely stranger or a beneficial event. A forlorn house. Okay, it's a place. Okay, it's cool. It's a place that we can overcome. We've got 3 sneak, it's only got 2. But heroes can perform rest actions here. So unlike every other encounter in the game, practically, this is the one, Forlorn House, where you can actually go and rest. And that'll probably be our first action next turn. So we're going to camp. We're going into the next day. And a noble stranger has appeared at the Grand Plains. Another Rosen Knight. Okay. And we're off ski. So we're going to rest. Puts us on 6 health. So at the start of the next day, if we can keep our health at 6, we're going to have 6 actions. So we'll hopefully be able to start nipping around the map more swiftly. Part of me wanted to leave this here as a safe path, but we now need to start considering every place that we leave in play gets corrupted at the end of the game, and the Prince of Ruin will use it against us and gain health for each place. So even as we're moving through them, we really ought to just be clearing these encounters. Quests we can leave, strangers not to be bothered about, even enemies. It's places that we need to take down. We need to get rid of them. And we've got the Forlorn House here. We've got the Black Castle here. And we've got the Sacred Shrine here. And we've got these 2 rumours. Yeah, there's a lot of clearing up to do, to be honest. We don't have to, but each one we don't is going to give an extra hit point. And the battles are finely tuned. The ancient battles are really finely tuned. Like every hit point counts. So, okay. We're gonna try and defeat this Forlorn House before we leave. So we're spending 1 action to confront it. We've got 4 dice. We need 2 successes. Here we go. 1 success. I don't want to use fate. She's my only fate, my only rumor. So if we discard her, nope. Confront again. No successes. Oh, come on. And again. There we go. And we're going to take 1 gold. We're building back up to 5 to complete the next chapter. I'm not going to get greedy with the loot tokens because, or am I? Am I going to get greedy with the loot tokens? It could be 3 gold. It could be something. It could be a map that will allow us to jump right across the map, across to a different location. It could be all kinds of tasty stuff, or it could be a trap, which would be really annoying. But 1 gold isn't a lot. I mean, and if we're going back for these big places that are worth like 3 gold each, yeah, I'm going for loot. Potion. Heal 1 HP. Okay, those are great. I like to try and save them up to the final battle if possible, if we can last that long. We've got 6 loot token slots, and we've only got 1 at the moment, so that potion hopefully come in handy later. This is telling us we need the place keyword for chapter 4. This is telling us we need the title keyword for chapter 3, which is our next chapter. But of course, we've already got the title keyword because we are the sheriff. So we don't need a title, but then the title card could be a really cool title. It could be a horse or an eagle or a dragon or something really cool. And we're not on chapter 4 yet. And we know we're going to get more places. So I'm going to risk it. I'm going to be greedy and get a title. It's the Dragon Rider. It's the Dragon Rider. So as an action, we can move up to 2 locations and ignore the one that we moved through. So we can move a lot more quickly. Once around, we can move two spaces instead of 1. And if we ever need to, we can sacrifice the dragon to kill or defeat any encounter at any location, which is probably like an end game thing. Just before the final battle, we can use this to take out a place that we can't get to, or if the boss is hidden by a particularly difficult encounter, the dragon will just take it out instantly. Ideally, if we're not using it, we can have 6 cards in play. We've got 3 assets at the moment. We would ideally have all assets helping us with the final battle when we go to the Prince of Ruin. And a dragon rider title and a sheriff title aren't going to help us particularly for that. But in the meantime, it's going to be brilliant. And it's at the Dead Swamp, which is same, same place as the Astral Seer, which is excellent. We'll discover both of them next round. Do we move in and see what's there and get battered if it's an enemy, or do we sit here? Yeah, we move in. It's a ruin. It's another place. The Forgotten Ruins. Okay. That's fine. So we do need to tackle it. We do need to deal with it. We'll do that next turn. We're camping. And we're hiding. Just for the fun of it. It's good practice to hide because some night effects will hit you if you're not hidden. Fear Storm. Place an obstacle at each location for each place it has. Okay, so we're finally going to get to see obstacles now. So this storm is gonna cover each of the locations in snow, and we have to dig the snow out to get to the places. So all those places that I named, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that's like an extra action for each one. It's not terrible, and we do get a loot token for doing it, but it means it's going to take it 1 action longer for each location, so 3 extra actions to get rid of all of these. Okay. First up, we're going to discover Astral Seer. We're bringing her into play. We're going to get +1 influence. Then we're going to ride a dragon. And we can only have 1 more asset in play. This spell will be a candidate for getting shut off. In fact, we'll probably sell this at the first opportunity. In fact, we are next to Spore City. We can move into Spore City, sell this, and buy something that will help us. Do we need a spell for the last keywords? We need a quest keyword, and we need a pious keyword, which we have now because of the Astral Seer. And we need a place, and we're going to get tons of those. And we need a stranger. We need a stranger and an item. So we're going to clear this and map to any Badlands location. Okay, so when you clear an obstacle, it costs 1 action, but you get that. You get a loot token, and this one, we can teleport to any Badlands. That's going to be quite helpful. Then we're going to clear this place. We're going to confront it with Sneak, which is our specialty. No successes. 4 dice, no successes. Let's try again. Okay, last action for the day. 1 success. Failed. Okay, so we're going to get six attempts next round. But we're going into what we are. The orc appears and kills a stranger. Which stranger do we want him to kill? We don't really want him to kill any of them. But this Rosen Crusader is out in the sticks. He's slain by an orc assassin. Okay. We are taking these Forgotten Ruins. Come on. 4 dice. 1 success. Let's go again. None. Again. There we go. 3 successes. Of course, if we got that in the first roll, it would have only cost us 1 action. So we defeat that. We take the 3 gold. We do need the place keyword for later. But I kind of want to see what the title is. And we know we're getting more place keywords. So I'm taking the title. The Eagle Rider. Okay. Yeah, it's the same ability as the dragon, only we can't sacrifice it to defeat an encounter, so... Oh, this lets us relocate. When you defeat the Forgotten Ruins, you can relocate to any Badlands location. Okay. We're looking for a stranger and an item. The strangers are up here. If we go here, that would bring us a lot nearer. Or would it? 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2. It'll bring us 2 locations nearer, but then we're going away from the places, but we'll get them on the way back. We don't want to do that one just yet. We need the sheriff for one more chapter. We need a stranger. We need an item. We can buy an item from town. Do you know what? I'm always wondering if it's not worth doing the relocate, because we can just go to Sprawl City and buy an item next turn. Yeah, I think we're just going to ignore that ability. We're going to move into the city and we're going to do a market action. And we're going to purchase. Now we're going to sell this familiar. We don't need this. So that'll give us 2 gold. We're going to keep. We could sell the Eagle Rider Rumour for 2 gold as well. It's half the value round down, and it's 5 gold. So that would be an extra 2 gold, which is great. But I always like to have a Rumour in hand for spare in case we need fate. So we'll keep that in hand for now. So we're going to sell the familiar spell, and we're going to purchase an item. So you draw 3 cards, and you have to try and purchase at least one of them. And we've got a winged helm, which will prevent damage if we get hit. We've got the sliding shielding braces, which allow us to redraw an encounter card if it's terrible. And we've got the repeating crossbow, which is very expensive, but it lets us go first in combat. So we get like first strike, effectively. We go before the enemy. Steven says Bear Rider is one of my favourite titles. I believe that's in Shadows of Kilforth. It is, yeah. Yeah, and it's cool. The artwork for that is awesome. But you know, we're riding a dragon. We're not a dragon, Stephen. Okay, I want the crossbow, but it's 5 gold and we've only got 7, and we need 5 to level up, so it's too expensive. I want the braces because we get to discard a nasty encounter if we pull one, but we are leveling up now. We've got 6 health, so I think the best bet's going to be the winged helm, and it's going to give us a bit of defense. It only costs 2 gold, and it's going to leave us with 5, which is enough for the level up, and it's got the item keyword, which is the main thing we were after. So now we just need a stranger. And there's 2 here, and we know we can defeat the monk immediately. And we can do it as a free action even. In fact, if we use our dragon now, we could use our last action to move straight onto his space and overcome him instantly. And then our first action next round would be to complete the chapter and level up. Only slight problem is we would be in Gloom, so we take 1 point of damage. So that's going to be an extra action to heal it back. But, you know, we could move through the forest and use that forager ability that I was so chuffed about that we've not used yet at some point. So we'll do it. We're going to fly the dragon. Move 2 locations, or sacrifice to defeat any encounter anywhere. Okay, so we're going to move here, and we ignore the one that we moved through, which was the castle. And now, as a free action, we can overcome. So if you can match a keyword in play that you have in play to a keyword on an encounter, and this one is pious. We've got the pious keyword from the astral seer after the asterisk there. She goes over and just convinces the monk, who is also pious, to join our cause. And he's got 0 gold, so the normal option would be choose 0 gold or a loot token. I think it's just defaulted to always get a loot token, which is cool. And a shield, that'd be good for the final battle. Prevent loss of 1 HP. Excellent. And we've got a stranger. That is chapter 3 taken care of. We just need to camp down, suffer the gloom. I'm going to hide just because I can. And so every time we take damage now, we can allocate it onto our shield or onto our helmet. But I'm saving all of this until the final battle, if possible, unless we really get swamped. So I'm going to take the damage. And we have new weather, Veil of Fog. Each hero is limited to 1 move action. No. So we only get 1 move action a day, so we have to make it count. We've got the dragon, so we can use that to move 2 spaces, but we just have to be really careful with our action economy now. Which means, normally, because we don't particularly need this chiefess, I would just leave her and move on. But because we're going to be trapped on this location or the next location we move to, it's kind of, it might be worth just overcoming her, like defeating her for like the gold, and she can give us an ally card. That's what the symbol at the bottom right means next to the goal. So, first point of order, level up. We're going to regale our saga. So we get to keep the Dwarven Helm. We're going to discard this, and we're going to keep our Sheriff title. And okay, now +1 sneak, and we desperately need more sneak. We've only got 4, which is good, but it's rubbish for the final battle. You can see the Prince of Ruin has 7 attack dice. We potentially could use our sneak as attack in the final battle. And to do that, we need to build it up. So we could get the extra sneak now, or we can take Sentinel, pay 1 gold to re-roll one of your dice during a fight test, and you can do that 6 times per day. So if we went into the final battle with 6 gold, that would be amazing. But we currently have 0 gold. There are other builds and there are other ways to play where you get lots more gold, and I haven't really pursued that, so we are broke. It might be that we come into gold later on, but right now the safest bet is probably going to be the Pathfinder, so we're going to take that. Right, and then we've got the final chapter before a finale, and the finale functions completely differently. We won't be collecting keywords, but we still need a place and a quest. So we have a place next door and the quest on the same space. Okay, so this is the plot that we were waiting to defeat because it requires sacrificing a title. So I think the sheriff's time has come. We're going to lose our sheriff status to defeat that plot. And we're going, but it has got a quest in the same space. So we could defeat both of them, potentially this round. She gives us, the Clannish Rally will give us 3 gold. We need 2 more. We could get some gold from this chiefess if we defeat her, which is 4 influence. Not easy to overcome. We could fight her, but currently she's tougher than we are. She's got more fight dice. So it's not really guaranteed that we would defeat her with negotiation or fighting without losing a load of health and actions. So probably, despite the fact that I said we're limited to 2 locations, I think we're going to move. We are going to move because we're going to go into the forest, and that's going to let us heal with our forager. And we've got another sneaky move up here with this map, which will allow us to teleport across the map. Okay. So we're going to move here. We're going to clear the plot, and we have to discard the Dragon Rider or the Sheriff. We haven't really used the Sheriff. It's great if you're whomping enemies, it gives you an extra gold, but we're not really fighting much at the moment. Coda says, need to head out. Thanks for the playthrough. Brill, thanks for sticking with us for so long. Yeah, obviously I realise it's going quite long now, but I appreciate that. And yeah, the app's great. Get on the Discord channel and see if you can get one of the beta test copies. Okay, so we're getting rid of the Sheriff title. Oh, 3 gold, that's neat. And then we're going to heal with our forager. Then we could use our Astral Seer to overcome this quest and just defeat it instantly. That's as special as defeat a quest at your location. It would save us having to roll at this, but we've got 5 dice to get 3 successes, so we've only got 2 actions left. I tell you what, if we don't do it in the 2 actions, I'm going to defeat it with the Astral Seer. 5 dice to get 3 successes. Let's go! There's 2. We could spend fates. We have fate. No, we're saving this. No, but we're not saving the eagle. We don't need this Eagle Rider. So I am going to spend the Eagle Rider. Am I? Yes. Because it'd be nice to keep it as a buffer in case we need to spend fate for something else, but this is exactly that occasion, so yeah, I'm going to... Yeah. Bosh. And we'll take that juicy gold. And we need that juicy keyword, and that's everything. That's all we need for this chapter, so we can regale here. Can we? Did we regale this round? Yeah, I think I'm getting greedy with the regaling. So the only other thing we need to do is get to this labyrinthine lair. Okay, so this is like an encounter we have to overcome. 6 successes we need. We've got 5 sneak, and it's in the Shrouded Glade. So we could use our map to teleport to near where the Shrouded Glade is, which is here. It's 2 spaces away. So we can get there with the dragon next turn, even if the Veil of Fog is here. So we've got 1 free action. We're going to get hit by Gloom. I'm going to hide with the smuggler, and I'm just going to search here and see if we can find an interesting encounter that might be able to help us. A lost village, and if we defeat this, we get to form a free market action, and we're going to have to because it's a place. Oh yeah, so maybe I shouldn't keep exploring for free encounters, because every place, remember, is going to add to the Prince of Ruin at the end. Okay, so that's it, we're camping. And we're taking the damage. And it's another place. The spawning pit. And if you end your turn there, you take an extra damage from the gloom. Oh, that's not an easy one to take out. And it's on the troll. We might send our dragon to defeat that one, if we remember. Okay. First things first. Regale. Let's get that last chapter done. Matching all the keywords. We don't have to discard her. We do have to discard the rumours. And we get our final skill. So, again, if we'd gone down the gold route and we've got tons of gold, there's like titles you can get, like royalty and items that you can get that just generate gold every turn. So if you've got tons of gold, this is a great route. The gold baron will let you pay gold to give you to cancel damage, and you could do that 6 times in the final battle or in any day. So if you had a 12 gold buffer, that would be amazing. But again, we're at 1 gold, we're paupers. So we're going to go the Guildmaster route, which is use sneak for a fight test during a battle. And then we really need to start boosting our sneak. We've only got 5. And we also need to defeat the Labyrinth Lair. But when we do, we gain our totem, which is +3 sneak, which will take us up to 8, which is good, which is really good, but it's still not amazing. So, do we go there and get started on that, or do we take this place out now whilst we're here? I think we take this out. First of all, heal, because we're 1 health down because of the gloom. So we activate the forager, and then we're going to confront this thing. So Lost Village has 3 routes of entry, 2 dice to get 4, 5 to get 3, or 5 to get 3. We're going to sneak. No successes. Okay, we've got 4 actions left. 2 successes. We've got no fates. We need to just collect a few rumours into our hands so that we've got a bit of a buffer. There we go. Done. And we're still taking gold. We don't need gold now, specifically not for our saga chapters, but we could do with it so we can go to town and buy some stuff and try and get some boosts. So we could go for loot, but I think the gold is the option here. We don't need encounter cards anymore, so every time now we can just take the reward card, which is always going to be more useful for us. Explorer, +1 sneak, perfect. And perform a free market action. Right, where's the Explorer? Is up there. And we don't need the gold, we can spend the 3 gold, so we'll do the market action. And is there anything we can sell? Not really. Oh, we could sell the Astral Seer. Just because we don't need the influence bonus and we don't really need quests now, we just need to take out places. So she, as useful as she's been, I think she's on her way out. So let's get rid of her. Thanks for your service. And she's gone. So we've got 5 gold, and that's enough to purchase an ally. We have a shadow ally already, so we can't take another shadow ally. But if we could get one that gives us a sneak bonus that isn't a shadow ally, that would be cool. Or we could get an item. We might be able to get armor or a weapon. But we've already got armor here. Can't really do spells. We could do with titles. I think we'll go allies. Let's see if we can get an ally that gives us a sneak boost that isn't shadow. No sneak boosts from anybody. Okay, so fight boosts. This guy will veil defeat a demon at your location. That's really cool. He just slays every demon you come across. This guy, when you rest, heal an extra hit point. That's pretty cool. This one's got double buff. He'd be great early game, but we're on day 16 now. I think we're going to go for the paladin and just start smashing demons if we come across them. If I had enough gold, I'd sell the paladin immediately and try to keep shopping. But yeah, that's not happening. Okay, so next up is this labyrinthine lair. And we need to... We're going to fly there. Use our dragon. Whee! And there's a quest, the Thieves Guild quest. It's worth 4 gold. But it's a distraction. It's a distraction for us. We're not great at taking out quests. So we're going to leave that there. And I think we're just going to camp. Because next term we'll be wanting to regale to finish our saga. So it takes regale actions to do that. So we can't regale against day. So we don't get an attempt on it now. We could... Yeah, no. Yeah, we're done. We're done for the day. Gonna hide. Good practice. And camp. Okay. So Spire Tour's gone under, and that necropolis there means that all encounters there are much more difficult now. Okay, so we're just going to start wailing on this labyrinth lair. 5 dice, and we need 6 successes. Oh, but do you know what? Let's go and get this explorer first, because it's going to give us extra dice, and it's only 1 space away, but it is on the troll, so we need to hide first. Okay, let's see. Oh, we could take this as well. Get rid of this. Okay, so a bit more shenanigans first. We're going to hide with her. Move to here. We're going to sneak past the troll. We have a half decent chance of beating him now, but it's a distraction, so we're going to sneak past him, and we're going to try and we'll discover the explorer. Just going to give us +1 sneak. We do need to take this spawn pit out as well, because it's a place, so it's going to boost the prints. So let's sneak this. Get rid of that. Take 3 gold. Yeah, if it's 3 or 4 gold, you take the gold rather than loot. Always take the titles now because we don't need the keywords. Executioner. Defeat a humanoid enemy at your location. Okay, so a brilliant title for early game. And actually, that would defeat the troll. And it's only 1 space away. But it's another distraction. And it would conflict with our explorer because they share the same reputation keyword. We'd have to discard explorer, and explorer is vital for our sneak build. So so we don't get to be the executioner and wander around instantly killing every humanoid enemy that we meet, which combined with the paladin, every humanoid and demon enemy that we meet, we will just massacre. Which would be fun, which is lots of fun, but we're not doing that. We are going to get this place. And there's going to be an encounter there. We're going to have to draw an encounter. Oh no! Oh no, because of the veil of fog, we can't move. Okay, we can use the map to move. But that won't take us directly there. So I think we're going to fight this troll after all. Because if it goes bad, we can escape to that location and start our turn there. Yeah, let's fight the troll. Drop hidden. Surprise! We'll use the trapper so he takes the damage. And we got 6 dice because of the surprise. We can use some cards. We're not going to use the dragon and we're not going to relocate. Let's just roll. 2 successes. He gets none. We'll go again. No successes and we take 2. Well, we got 6. We got 8 health. We can take it. This is a distraction, though. It's what I said not to do. We can just escape now. Or we could keep fighting. If we fight him, we can get his gold, and he can give us an item. Or we could just run away. Let's fight one more round. No successes. Take 3. Okay, I got punished for being greedy. I'm escaping. And we're moving over to here. And it's in Gloom. And we're taking the damage. And that horrible veil of fog is finally lifted. A new enemy appears at the abyssal gate. And it takes 2 hit points to get rid of the Grave of Ruin, which we do need to do. Okay, so we're actually up the creek here. We're on 2 health. I think we need to do a long rest, which on day 18 is not ideal. But otherwise we only have 2 actions. So yeah, taking a long rest. That troll was a bad idea. And another place. And we've got to get rid of it. Okay. Next day, Forager to heal. Clear to get rid of this. We're going to have to just lose an action to get rid of this. Fine. And we get an axe plus 1 fight for 1 battle round. Save that for the big boss. And then we need to get back in the game. Use the Dragon Rider to move 2 to get back to our totem finale. And we're going to regale 6 dice to get 6 successes. We can do this 4 times. 2 successes. Another 2. 2 more. There we go. Bosh. Okay. Our saga is complete. So the boss is going to come in and the Prince of Ruin is going to come into the game and we have the chance to go and beat him. If we weren't doing a sneak build, if we picked a different class, we could sell this now for 12 gold and then go shopping in town to buy something. But you're not going to get anything that gives you this kind of bonus. 3 sneak straight up. We're having it. And it's going to give us 2 titles to put into play. Royalty, which gives us 2 gold every turn, which would have been perfect earlier. And she's going to get rid of... I think the Paladin. I don't think we need him anymore. And Sect of the Rose, which gives us +1 influence straight up, which is good, but we don't actually need that. So that is going. And the Prince of Ruin awakens at the Old Woods. Okay, so he's there. He's not a mandatory encounter. We can walk through him at the moment, but we do have to go there to fight him to win the game. So we've completed our saga. We've got 9 sneak. He's only got 7, but he's got 10 health +1 for each place in play. He's going to sacrifice a title as soon as the battle starts. So if we want to keep that Explorer title, we need like this royalty title so that you sacrifice that one instead. We could get rid of the dragon now potentially, but all the others we need +1 sneak, +1 sneak. Royalty we can use now. It's going to give us gold. Gives us 2 gold every turn. We need to clear all the places that we can. We know we've got this barracks up here. We've got a bunch down here with obstacles on them. That's going to take a lot of time. Oh, and the Black Castle's got +2. The Black Castle's got +2 to its values because of the Necropolis night card that drew there. This thing. +2 to every encounter value there. So it might be that we set the dragon on that just to not have to worry about it. we've got a place down there, the Sacred Shrine we need to defeat. And we need to go around doing this and amassing wealth, get back to Sprawl City, spend that wealth, see if we can get some assets that are going to help us, and then go and beat the boss. So, plan of action. What do we do? We're going to fly up to the Orc Barracks. We're going to take that out. But I don't think we're going to do it this turn. Are we? Yeah. Oh no, we already used it for that. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going through the troll again. I'm just going to fly straight over him. So I think we'll just camp there. I was going to move into Sprawl City, have a shop, but actually, action-wise, we just need to fly straight up to the barracks and destroy that, and then start making our way back. So better to just camp here, I think. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna clear this location that we're on. This it's a quest, and it's too high value. It's worth 4 gold, which is great, but it's also a safe path at the moment. As long as that card sits there, we can just move through that without drawing an encounter. And we want to stop drawing as many encounters now because we don't want more places to come in that we have to deal with. And what's this plot down here we have to get rid of? Lose 2 HP when you defeat that plot. And we're going to maybe take that demon out. If we don't get rid of this plot, he's going to get +2 maximum health as well, on top of everything else. So, yeah. Our work is cut out for us. We'll just hide. Then camp. Discard a quest from play. Okay. Well, I just said this is a nice safe path, so we'll keep the Thieves Guild and we'll get rid of this one that was hanging out in the corner. The Rosen Pilgrimage is over. And he's got another plot. We have to lose 2 gold to defeat that one. But it's where we're headed. So as long as we keep an extra spare 2 gold, we can defeat that. Okay. Let us begin. Gain gold from royalty. Use the dragon to fly 2 spaces up to the Orc Barracks. And then we're going to... Oh, what can we discover up here? Oh, yeah. The Executioner. But we're not taking that because we need the Explorer reputation. So, no discover. Confront. And we've got 9 dice to get 3 successes. Come on. Even my dice rolls should be able to beat this one. Done. 4 successes. We take that gold. 2 more loot tokens would be good because if they're like potions and shields and stuff, we can use them in the final battle. But gold would give us more flexibility when we do our big shop at Sprawl City if we get the time. And it's also worth points at the end of the game. So each, not that points really matter, but it's just a way to score your VPs if you still have them, if you survive. So I'm going to take the gold and always take the title because we don't need the keywords for the encounters anymore. Dark Arts, it's +1. +1 sneak, it's perfect. It's order keyword and it makes us a demon. So what could we get rid of to bring that in? We could get rid of the dragon or we could get rid of royalty. Where is it? It's right down on the bottom of the map. But we can teleport there. We have this map, which will lead us straight to it. And we could do that right now. And we probably shall. Because we don't want to go back down these. We do want to come this way, take out these plots and places, and then head to Sprawl, have a big shop, and head off to the Prince for the showdown. Yep, okay. Plan of action. Use the map. Teleport right down to here, which I never thought we were going to go to in this game. Discover the dark arts. Demonic dark arts. Wait. Back up. Since we're going to have to discard the dragon anyway, let's use it now to defeat a card that we don't like. Which would be... I kind of got a personal grudge against the troll, but he's actually at 1 sneak. He is also a safe path for us because we can just sneak past him into the final battle. So it's going to be something more like this. I don't really know, actually. Oh no, yeah, Black Castle. Okay, the Cruz Campo's kicking in now. Uh, that Black Castle is going to take us ages to defeat. With 9 sneaks, 7 successes, it's still not easy. We're going to have the dragon is going to go and blow it up. So we're going to sacrifice the dragon to defeat an encounter, and it's going to be the Black Castle. Nice little animation. And do we get the 3 gold or loot? We get loot. See if we get another map that can teleport us around again. Fate. Fate is good. And the title. Druid Circle. Defeat a noble stranger at your location. We're not too interested in that at the moment. We've got a free market action. We can. We're gonna bring the dark arts in, so we could sell royalty to make space because we need 1 more space. You can only have 6 assets. We're gonna sell the royalty for 3 gold, and we're gonna purchase what we're gonna get. We could go for another ally. We could potentially get a non-shadow ally that gives us a sneak bonus. That would be neat. We could. I think we're all right for titles. We've got loads of titles. We don't need spells. We can barely cast spells. Items could be good. It could be some. Oh, if it gave us a bonus to sneak, that'd be amazing. Steve says that was a cool animation from the Dragon Rider. Yeah, you've not seen that yet. I bet. Have you? It's probably because you haven't used the dragon to defeat something because it's like I1 does not want to discard the dragon. You kind of want to keep it in play. But yeah, it's really cool. And when you cast a fireball spell, it's got little animation as well. So either an item or an ally. I think I'm going to go for an ally and hope that we get one that gives us a sneak bonus. Okay, it's the minstrel. She gives +2 and the smuggler gives +1. So she has outclassed the smuggler. The smuggler has served us well from the start of the game, but she is gone. And this says she's going to replace her now because they share the shadow keyword. So take it anyway. Off goes the smuggler. If we'd have known in advance, we could have got the 2 gold from selling the smuggler title, but we'll just take the minstrel. That's cool. And we're done with our free shop. So now we're going to head back to these plots, take these out. Well, we're going to use this fate token before I forget. We now have a token. Yay! We've got all these for the battle. These 3 are good for the battle. Oh, we need. Oh, why we came here. Let's join the demonic dark arts. Discover. Wait, have we got room? Yes. Oh, we've got loads of room. Wow. Okay. Yeah, because we sacrificed the dragon. And then we sold off the smuggler. So we still got room to buy something else. But this is cool. Look, we've got 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 boosts. So we've got 11 sneak up in the corner now. 11. We've still got room for 1 more card as well. We don't really need these 2. These are really great for exploring the early game, but we just don't need them for the final boss, which is what we're heading for now. So we're heading back to take out these plots. Let's go. Oh, we should have used the smuggler to hide before we did anything else. Never mind. Okay. Do we even need to hide? We've got 11 sneak. That's also 11 fight now for us because of our final skill card as the guild master. I think we can pretty much womp most stuff. Probably not the troll, but let's see. We're just going to walk casually across the map without hiding. The ambassador, it's a quest. Worth gold. Not interested. Good luck. Goodbye. We're moving. We're going to clear these. We have to clear the obstacles first, so it's just draining us of our actions, but it's going to give us a loot token, which is another blessing, which can be used in the final battle. That's cool. Then we're going to clear. What's this one do? Lose 2 gold. We've got 10. That's fine with us. And we get a discover action. So that would allow us to bring one of these into play without having spending an action. Not perfect at this point, but it's fine. And I think we're done for the day. We could heal. We're going to have to use that first thing to heal from this gloom. But for now, it's sleepy time. And we're coming into day 21. We're taking the damage. We're saving those for the final battle. And we've got Wave of Doom, who we're going to ignore completely. We're not bothered about him. We're going to heal. We want to take this sacred shrine down. which would allow us to heal as well. Uh, but we want to get rid of that place keyword because it's going to add to the Prince of Ruin. So we're going for it. Lots of actions probably, but we've got 11 sneak. 7 successes. We got it in one roll. Oh, that's awesome. If we have rolls like that in a final battle, we'll be on to a winner. Okay, so we will take the gold or loot. Just keep taking the gold. And the title, Outrider, when you defeat a place, gain a gold. We don't really need that. We'll keep it. We'll heal. Next up, this thing. Batter that demon. Hopefully fairly quickly. I might just hide. It seems cowardly, but it gives us an extra die, and we just want to wipe them out as quickly as possible. So we'll hide. We're moving in. We missed the smuggler now. She gave us that free hide. That was cool. Okay, in we go. Fight the demon. Drop hidden. Use the trapper to get rid of one of its HP before we even start. We could use these axes and stuff. We're not going to. We're just going to roll 12 dice, and we need 3 successes. There we go. He's toast. You take 2, but that's fine. I'm going to get a loot token. Sod it. We've got one more slot. Use the health. Yep, okay. Deserved. Got greedy. So we'll get an item. And we've got the Gilded Sword. It's the best item in the game. 2 fight, 6 gold. But we're not using fight anymore. We're using sneak. So it would have been nice to have very early on, but that's not happening. Okay, so where are we? We can rest. We can clear. What we're doing, clear. We're clearing this, but we lose 2 HP when we do, which will give us a lot, much fewer actions next round. Day 21. I don't really want to lose those. Oh, mind you, we're going to lose the action points anyway. We could use a potion to heal. Oh, we've got the forager. Could just rest now, and then we've got the full 8 actions. Let's just rest. It's been a busy day. Camp. Taking the damage. Heroes must pay 1 gold to move to or from Sprawl City until the end of the next day. Well, that's rude, because that's where we were going to go for our big shop, but whatever. Okay, so we're going to use a forager to rest that 1 HP from the gloom. Then we're going to take 2 damage from this plot. And we're just going to take it because we're saving those for the final battle. Hand limit reached. Choose a card to discard. Okay, yeah, we can only have 6 rumors. We'll just get rid of one of these. We don't need those. We've got another fate token. So we use that straight away to gain a fate. It'd be useful to spend 1 in a final battle, but you can't spend more than 1 a day. So they're kind of to guide you through the early game. Is that all the places now? I think we've taken all the places out. So we just need to get to Sprawl, buy the final item or ally, and then head off for the battle. So let's get there. We'll rest first, get our full health. And we'll go the safe path. I'm not interested in fighting random enemies or discovering places now. We just need a quick route to Big Boss Man. Each hero must discard a rumour, travel tide. So that's terrible in the early game, but especially if you only got 1 rumour. But now we're fine. We got rumours to play with. Get rid of that. Ooh, but we do have a new plot that's appeared. Lose action points equal to your hero's skill level. Oh, that's not good to come up late because that's 4 actions for us now. Oh, but it's right on our space. Okay. What can we discover here? The Druid Circle. Defeat a noble stranger. Nope. Okay, so we will clear that plot. Yep. And we get nothing for our hard work. We lost all those action points. And we're going to the city. And we're gonna buy. What are we gonna buy? We've still got we've got one shadow ally. There are other allies from other disciplines, martial, pious, or arcane, that could potentially give us a sneak bonus, and that's pretty much the only thing left. Um, or we could get an item. We could get armor that would be better than the dwarven helm, but then we'd have to lose the helm. I think we're going for an ally. There we go. The ninja dog to the rescue. Dog ninja. In case you're wondering where my my handle comes from on BGG. Right, so we'll get the dog. We'll sell nothing. We don't need to sell anything. I think we're good to go. We are off. We're gonna go and kill the prince. We could do one more loot. We could get rid of the spyglass. Not entirely necessary. Let's go. We're going to take a gloom hit, but it's fine. We'll use our forager to heal. And then we're going into the penultimate day. Talk about cutting it close. Oh, we get an extra move action. Useful. From the sunshine. No, what's this? What's this? Sacrifice an ally. Otherwise, when the battle round starts, he heals 1 hit point. No, he's got regeneration. Which would be fine, but it's all the way across the map. Are there any shortcuts? No. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to deal with. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it'll be the final day. 1, 2, and we have to go and battle him. This is not great, but regeneration is awful. Oh, and sacrifice an ally. We'd have to lose one of our dudes. Oh, maybe we just let him have a regeneration. It gives him an extra health as well. And we're still going to take out, when we move on to a space, we're going to draw an encounter. And whatever that encounter is, we need to defeat that to be able to even overcome him. It shouldn't be too much trouble, but if it was something like a quest that needed a high study, we'd be screwed. So we've got two. Steven says, only fitting to have the dog ninja for the boss fight. Yes, come on. So do we take off his regeneration? And what do we need to take? A sacrifice an ally? No. Our allies are too good. They are literally like the perfect arrangement. +2 sneak, another sneak, and it's not even our discipline. And we need all of this. These are all sneak bonuses. And we kind of need the helmet. The helmet's cool. And it's like 2 extra health points, effectively. 2 extra damage absorption. We've got a shield, which is another one. We've got a potion. We've got an axe. We can use a blessing. I think we're just going to have to take the hit on the regeneration. We're going to have to leave that there. I don't even want to walk through this plains in case it's another place we have to deal with. So I'm going to wander past our old friend the troll, who's kind of earned his status. He just lives there now. That's something that the whole the whole world of Kilforth has to deal with. Right next door to Sprawl City, this troll has just earned his place. So we're going to leave him, and we're going to. We still have to sneak past him. What can we discover here? I keep asking. Druid's Circle. Nope. Okay, we are. Even though we got 12 dice and 7 health, we are sneaking past this troll. Goodbye. We wish you peace. And we're off to the Old Wood. And the blocker is the Labourer, and his weakness is armour. So he's going to take one look at our magnificent winged helm, and he's just going to like instantly join our cause. So we stop hiding. We overcome him. So just to go through that again, his weakness there, weakness to armour. He's just really impressed by the craftsmanship, being the labourer that he is. And we overcome him. 1 gold or a loot? I think loot. Come on. Let's see if we can get one last loot token for the final fight. Map. Oh. Let's come back to that. We never need the keywords, so we're going for ally. Yeah, Berserker would have been great. Not for us. Let's get rid of that. So, this could be my undoing, but if we use this map, we could jump all the way to here. We've got 5 actions. 1 to move in, 2 to tackle that, 3, 4, 5 to get back to Sprawl. Final round, 1, 2, 3. Get back here, deal with whatever encounter is guarding him. Oh no, it's sacrifice an ally. That's the whole problem. Yeah, no, it's temptation. And then if a weather effect kicked in that says we can't move more than 1 space and we couldn't even reach him, that would just be annoying. Okay, so it's the 24th day. We have 1 day to go. We're going for the final battle. Before we do, we're going to rest that last HP. And we're going to have one last look at Forager. At a forest location, heal 1 HP. We might be able to do that in the middle of the battle. This is it. Assault. We're going in. So, when a battle round starts, he heals 1 HP. So we're just going to make this nice and swift. We're going to use Trapper, so he's going to lose a health. We have to get rid of a title. It's annoying, but yeah, they're both the same. Do we prefer Explorer or Dark Arts? Let's get rid of the Demon Within. And we have to sacrifice 1 when the round starts, so his ability is just going to chew through our stuff. I kind of want all the sneak values, so I'm thinking a Winged Helm goes, but he's got 7 fight dice, and that's 2 extra hit points. I think we're going to lose the Explorer title as well. And we're off. Yeah, so when a battle round starts, each hero sacrifices an asset. So he's going to chew through all of our gear, and he's going to regenerate. Meanwhile, we are using an axe on him. Then we are using a blessing. And then we are using... Nope, we'll save this. When we take damage, we'll use this. Okay, here we go. 13 dice. And he's got 10 health. He's got 7 dice on us, and we've got 8. Here we go. We do 3 and take 5? 5? Come on. First round. Okay, so the helmet is destroyed almost immediately. That's going to block out 2, so that makes it down to 3. Then we're going to use the shield to soak up 1. And then we're going to have to take that 2 damage, and we're going to heal it back with the potion and Forager next round. But for now, we do 3. Oh, and he's going to heal it. Oh, we should have got rid of that regeneration. And now he's going to destroy another asset, and this is terrible, because this is all our extra sneak bonuses. And I hate to lose him, but it's going to have to be the dog because he's only given us +1. So this needs to go on that website that warns you about, does the dog die in the film? Because the bold dog ninja has given up his life to try and save Kilforth. Off he goes, and we're massively reduced in our sneak attack. 9 dice. I'm pretty sure we had 12 going in. I'm going to use Forager, and we're going to use the potion. It gets us back to full health, and that's all of our tricks done. Oh, we can spend Fate, and we will use a Fate token. Here we go. 1 success, and we take 4. Okay, GG, guys. Now we have to lose the Minstrel, consumed by Ruin. And we are down to 7 dice, and he's got 8 health. He's just buffering back up. We should have gone and taken out his regeneration. It was the map was given to us at the last minute as like, this is the way, this is the path. And now he's like, nope, charge. Okay, here we go. 1 success and we take 4. Yeah, okay. He wasn't playing around. Look at those rolls. Look at the state. Even the misses were still close. Okay, well, whoever designed this game sucks. It's obviously broken. You can't win as the heroes, and defeated. Goodbye, Hal Dracul. Kilforth is lost, and it's all because you didn't use that map and take away his regeneration. We could have, if we had done, we could have sacrificed one of our allies. We would have lost the sneak, but then we could have come back via Sprawl City. We still had like 7 gold left. We could have potentially picked up another ally, uh, but we could have also got blocked in. We might not have been able to get to the prince, and it was a valiant effort. You know, we got him down to 7. We cleared the land of all of his places. At this point, yeah, I'm just commiserating with myself. Okay, that's the game. The game trolled me. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Error. What's that? Error and use it. Yeah. Uh, if only you beat the troll. Yeah, I think that's where it all started to go wrong. How many days did we lose to the troll just getting hammered by him? And he's probably happy with his new overlord. He doesn't have to deal with this pesky vampire rogue running around, sneaking past him and discovering stuff underneath his nose. Okay, so that's it. That's obviously, I mean, that's 2.5 hours because I was talking through every single decision. I can rattle through games of this in like an hour or less. And it's brilliant. The digital implementation is really cool. What Jarrett's done is amazing. He's, like I said, as passionate about it as I am. He gets fixes up almost every day with the bug fixes and stuff and the quality of life improvements. I've played online adaptations of board games that aren't as good as this. As Jarrett said as well, he's done the same. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna clock off now and probably you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back uh, after you guys are gone, and I'm going to reload the save from the day before. Keep my finger in the page, undo all the terrible decisions, and go and defeat the prince. No, no, what's done is done. Haldrakul is dead. But we got close. We got close, and we didn't die to gloom. We didn't get, we made it to the final boss. We cleared up. We gave it a good shot, and in the end, fate was not with us. Very awesome online adaptation. That was a fun playthrough. Oh yeah, yeah. Cheers, Stephen. Agreed. And yeah, Meltdown's done a brilliant job. Okay, that's it. That's Gloom. Maybe we'll do another of these if there's any interest. We'll roll this out for anybody who missed it and try and tidy up the opening. And yeah, thanks for joining me, and I will catch you next time.